Part 10.7 Surah Yunus Jonah. Assalamu alaikum.
Yetch.
Welcome back to Sufi Essence with Hammad Syed. Kanzal Men. Yunus Jonah 10:31-35. Say, who provides for you from the heaven and the earth? Or who has power over hearing and sight? And who brings the living out of the dead and brings the dead out of the living? And who arranges the matter? They will say, Allah. Say, then will you not fear him? So that is Allah your Lord, the truth. So what comes after the truth except misguidance? Then how are you turned away? Thus the word of your Lord has been fulfilled upon those who disobeyed that. They will not believe. Say, are there among your partners any who begins creation and then repeats it? Say, Allah begins creation and then repeats it. So how are you deluded? Say, is there among your partners any who guides to the truth? Say, Allah guides to the truth. Then is he who guides to the truth more worthy to be followed? Or he who does not guide unless he is guided? What is the matter with you? How do you judge? These verses represent a masterful and logical dismantling of the disbelievers' arguments, using a series of irrefutable rhetorical questions that lead them to a singular, undeniable conclusion: the absolute oneness and sovereignty of Allah. The passage is a brilliant intellectual challenge. It's designed to awaken a mind and a Qalb that had been shrouded in spiritual darkness. It begins with questions that no one, regardless of their belief system, can rationally deny. Say, who provides for you from the heaven and the earth? Or who has power over hearing and sight? And who brings the living out of the dead and brings the dead out of the living? And who arranges the matter? These questions move from the external to the internal, from the physical to the metaphysical. They start with the most basic and observable reality of our existence: sustenance. The provision that comes from the sky as rain and from the earth as crops is a clear sign of a higher power. They then move to the very essence of human life, the senses of hearing and sight. These are not faculties that we created for ourselves, but are divine gifts. The questions culminate with the ultimate mysteries of life and death and the cosmic order of the entire universe. The Meccan disbelievers, despite their polytheistic beliefs, recognized a supreme deity. The verses corner them, forcing them to concede the truth. The Quran provides the answer they must inevitably give. They will say, Allah. This is a powerful moment of self-incrimination, where their own words betray their spiritual inconsistency. The final question, then, will you not fear him, is a devastating blow, a simple and logical conclusion that exposes their hypocrisy. If they acknowledge that Allah is the one who controls all of these things, then how can they not fear his power and not worship him alone? The discourse then transitions to a profound philosophical statement on the nature of truth itself. So that is Allah, your Lord, the truth. So what comes after the truth, except misguidance? Then how are you turned away? This verse presents a stark and powerful binary. There is no middle ground between truth and falsehood. If Allah is the ultimate truth, then everything else is misguidance. Their deviation from Tawhid is not just a theological error, but a rejection of the very fabric of reality. The question, then, how are you turned away? It's a plea to their reason, a call to awaken from the illogical and inconsistent path they are on. The verse ends with a sobering observation. Thus the word of your Lord has been fulfilled upon those who disobeyed that. They will not believe. This is not a statement of predestination, but a consequence of their actions. The phrase who disobeyed is key. Their rejection of the truth was a persistent act of defiance, a choice they made over and over again. As a result of this spiritual hardening, their Qalb became so veiled that belief was no longer possible for them. This is a powerful lesson on the self-inflicted nature of spiritual blindness. The verses continue the intellectual challenge, but now they focus on the specific claims of the disbelievers' false gods. Say, are there among your partners any who begins creation and then repeats it?
Begins creation.
And then repeats it? So how are you deluded? This question addresses the fundamental power of creation. The idols and false deities have no power to create or to bring back to life. These powers belong to Allah alone. Their belief in the idol's power is a profound delusion, a spiritual fantasy that has no basis in reality. The verses then move to the even more significant question of guidance. Say, is there among your partners any who guides to the truth? Say, Allah guides to the truth. This is the ultimate question. The purpose of prophethood and revelation is to guide humanity to the truth. If the idols cannot even guide themselves, how can they guide others? The final question is the most piercing of all. Then is he who guides to the truth more worthy to be followed, or he who does not guide unless he is guided? What is the matter with you? How do you judge? This is a powerful critique of their flawed logic and their spiritual inconsistency. They are making a judgment that goes against all reason. They are following a path of spiritual darkness, while a clear path of light is being shown to them. From a Sufi perspective, this passage is a profound commentary on the nature of the spiritual journey. The path to Allah is an intellectual one, as much as it is a spiritual one. It requires the seeker to use their intellect, to dismantle the false beliefs and spiritual delusions that have clouded their Qalb. The rhetorical questions are a spiritual exercise, a means of leading the soul to a state of tawhid that is not based on blind faith, but on profound intellectual certainty. The Sufi understands that there are only two paths: the path of truth, which is the path of Allah, and the path of misguidance, which is the path of the ego and the world. The journey is about choosing the path of truth and removing all the self-imposed veils that prevent us from seeing it. The verses on guidance are particularly significant for the Sufi. They highlight the importance of seeking guidance from a pure source, a source that has itself been guided by Allah. The Prophet, peace be upon him, was the ultimate guide, a living testament to the truth that he was delivering. He was the one who was guided by Allah and was therefore most worthy of being followed. The historical context of these verses is the height of Meccan polytheism. The verses were a direct challenge to the Meccans' entire belief system, which was based on a hodgepodge of customs, traditions, and superstitions. The Quran used a logical and intellectual approach to expose the spiritual bankruptcy of their beliefs. The questions were designed to strip away all their pretexts and to leave them with the bare, undeniable truth of Allah's oneness. The verses were a powerful and compassionate appeal to their reason, a final call for them to abandon their idols and to embrace the truth before it was too late. The verses were not just a theological debate, but a call to spiritual revolution, a demand that they change their entire way of life and return to a state of complete submission to their Creator. The Meccans' refusal to accept this truth was not a sign of a lack of proof, but a sign of a profound spiritual arrogance, a spiritual disease that had clouded their intellect and hardened their hearts. Hadith section. A hadith that beautifully complements the theme of guidance in these verses is found in Sahih al-Bukhari. The Prophet, peace be upon him, taught, "The one who guides too good is like its doer." Sahih al-Bukhari, Hadith 2097. This profound narration speaks to the immense value and reward of guiding to the truth. Allah, in His infinite wisdom, is the ultimate guide, and He has placed in His Prophet, peace be upon him, a light of guidance for all of humanity. The Hadith encourages the believer to emulate this quality, to be a source of guidance for others, to call them to the truth of Tawhid and to the path of righteousness. It is a powerful reminder that our role in this world is not just to receive guidance but to share it, to be a source of light for others. The verse is there among your partners any who guides to the truth. It's a powerful testament to the fact that this is a divine quality, and a person who guides others to the truth is acting as a conduit for Allah's grace. This is the essence of spiritual leadership in Islam, a leadership that is rooted not in worldly power, but in the ability to guide others to the straight path. Dua, my Lord, grant me a qalb that is guided by your truth and a mind that is free from all delusions and inconsistencies. Protect me from the spiritual arrogance that turns away from your signs and the blindness that prevents me from seeing your truth. Make me a person who fears you in all things and who finds my only contentment in your remembrance. And make me a source of guidance for others, so that I may be a reflection of your profound mercy and light. For you are Al-Hadi, the guide, and to you is my ultimate return, O Ar-Rahman and Ar-Rahim. May Allah illuminate your heart and mind with the light of this divine ilm. May He make your channel a beacon of guidance for all who seek spiritual clarity and truth. May your efforts be a source of immense reward, and may you be granted the highest stations of paradise. May the peace and blessings of Allah always be upon you and your loved ones. May He grant you unwavering steadfastness on the path of truth, and may your work be a testament to His magnificent names, Ar-Rahman and Ar-Rahim. Ameen.